Diabetes mellitus type 2 is a long-term metabolic disorder that is characterized by high blood sugar, relative lack of insulin, and insulin resistance that causes blood glucose levels to rise higher than normal. If not managed properly, type 2 diabetes may result in blindness, kidney disease, amputation, stroke, and heart attack. According to International Diabetes Federation, 415 million people have diabetes in the world. The cases of type 2 diabetes has rose drastically in Malaysia. And do you know that in 2015, there were 3.3 million cases of diabetes and 34,576 number of deaths in adults due to diabetes? So, do you have type 2 diabetes? Type 2 diabetes can be well controlled through a balanced diet. Carbohydrate is the main food source that will increase your blood sugar levels. So, by controlling the amount of foods that are rich in carbohydrate, it can help you to manage type 2 diabetes mellitus. A method called carbohydrate counting will help you to estimate the amount of carbohydrate you eat. In fact, there are a lot of foods that are rich in carbohydrate, such as cereal and grain products, starchy vegetables, fruits, milk and dairy products, and of course, sugary foods and beverages. So now, let's count carbohydrate. Keep in mind that one exchange contains around 15 grams of carbohydrates. Most main meals contain 2 to 4 exchanges of carbohydrates, while most snacks 1 to 2 exchanges. Remember to talk to your dietitian. Different people have different carbohydrate needs. One fistful of food, about the size of this circle or 1 cup, roughly contains 2 exchanges or 30 grams of carbohydrates. A medium fruit, usually the size of a tennis ball, roughly contains 1 exchange or 15 grams of carbohydrates. Let's try to count carbohydrates in a Malaysian breakfast. In this case, the breakfast meal consists of 2 pieces of toast, kaya, which is coconut egg jam, and a glass of milk. 1 piece of toast roughly contains 1 exchange of carbohydrate. And 3 teaspoons of kaya contain about 1 exchange of carbohydrate. Finally, a 250 ml glass of milk contains about 1 exchange of carbohydrates. So, by adding up all the exchanges, we get a total of 4 exchanges for this breakfast. Now, let's try to count carbohydrates in a morning tea. In this case, this morning tea consists of malted chocolate drink. 4 teaspoons of malted chocolate powder contain about 1 exchange of carbohydrates. So, this malted chocolate drink contains about 1 exchange of carbohydrates. Next, let's count carbohydrate in the Malaysian lunch. In this case, the lunch meal consists of steamed rice, 2 types of stir-fried vegetables, steamed chicken breast meat, an apple, and a glass of plain water. In counting carbohydrates, we focus on carbohydrate-rich foods. 1.5 fistful of rice, about 1/4 of a plate, contain about 3 exchanges of carbohydrates. 1 apple of the size of a tennis ball contains roughly 1 exchange of carbohydrates. So, by adding up all the exchanges, we get a total of 4 exchanges or 60 grams of carbohydrate. Let's try to count carbohydrates in an afternoon snack. In this case, this afternoon snack consists of crackers. 3 pieces of crackers contain about 1 exchange of carbohydrates. So, this afternoon snack contains about 1 exchange of carbohydrates. Next, let's count carbohydrates in a Malaysian dinner. In this case, the dinner meal consists of chapati, which is a flat bread, stir-fried vegetables, fried fish, dal, which is mainly made of lentils, and a glass of water. Again, like lunch, we focus on carbohydrate-rich food. 1 piece of chapati of a diameter of 20 cm contains about 3 exchanges of carbohydrates. 1/3 of a cup of dal contains about 1 exchange of carbohydrates. So, by adding up all the exchanges, we get a total of 4 exchanges for this dinner. Finally, let's count carbohydrates in an evening snack. In this case, this evening snack consists of an orange and a glass of water. An orange of the size of a tennis ball contains around 1 exchange of carbohydrates. So, This evening snack contained about 1 exchange of carbohydrates. In combining the carbohydrates of all the meals of a day menu, we get a total of 15 exchanges of carbohydrates.